Today's MetroNews television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
I'm meteorologist Brandon Weathers. Dangerous heat and humidity will be our focus Tuesday through Friday. After Friday, we could track some thunderstorms heading into 4th of July weekend, but not quite until then. Adding context to our temperatures, it's been consistently cool recently. Charleston has not measured a high at or above daily average since the 17th of June, a streak that ends today. So we're swapping consistent cool for consistent heat, as highs are in the mid-90s toward 100 by Thursday. But this heat is with us into Saturday. Heat index values surpassing 100 degrees each day, potentially say 110 on Thursday. For precipitation, the Sunday to Monday round did bring some areas some locally higher amounts. We'll continue to look toward the mountains for lingering showers and thunderstorms through the rest of the afternoon and evening hours. But once that tapers off, we don't have much for widespread precipitation in West Virginia the rest of the week. Flies here, W Forecast. It starts at home. We're not the only ones feeling the heat. A lot of 90s or triple digits for air temps. And then you add the heat index values. We have to be practicing heat safety wherever you're traveling heading into the holiday weekend. Panhandle to Panhandle forecast. It's not just the highs, but the lows. Morgantown 69 tonight. Moundsville 72 with some clear skies. Then we'll see highs in the low to mid 90s here on Tuesday. Looking to Martinsburg for 68. A typical cool spot, Davis 62. 84 though, even in the cooler areas on Tuesday. Plenty of 90s elsewhere. 95 for Petersburg. We'll see some fog potentially setting up toward Clarksburg tonight. Lows in the 60s and 70s, then a high of 88 Elkins, 95 for Ripley, more mid-60s to mid-70s, looking south with highs in the 80s to mid-90s, 95 Charleston. So hot and humid through Friday, then we'll track some holiday weekend thunderstorms.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Five, three,
Red 57! Red 57! Hot, hot!
I don't believe what I just saw.
Bill McKenzie kicks a 38-yard field goal on the final play of the football game.
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes!
It is a great night to be a Mountaineer wherever you may be.
From the home of the state's land-grant institution, inside the Health Plan Studios, in the Dale B. Miller Building in Morgantown, it's time for the state's most listened-to sports talk show. This is the CityNet Statewide Sportsline. CityNet, cybersecurity experts for the digital age. And now, across the state of West Virginia and beyond, Sportsline is on the air.
Sportsline for Monday and a new week. Thanks for joining us. And we're all back in the studio. Kyle Wiggs, Greg Hunter, Brad Howe. And good evening.
Good evening.
Hi, everyone.
We've got an interesting show tonight. We've got a pretty interesting story from the ranks of West Virginia high school sports. And a young man who has a familiar last name who has developed at an unbelievably rapid pace over the course of the last year. And now all of a sudden he's got Division I opportunities and is headed to play at Virginia Tech. We're talking about Luke Braham, who, of course, the son of former Mountaineer great Rich Braham. His brother Noah played briefly, played for a couple of years at WVU and entered the transfer portal earlier this year and has moved on. But Luke will play at Virginia Tech, and he has developed into one of the top players in the state of West Virginia physically, and it'll be interesting to see what type of senior season he has for university. Expectations there are very, very high. So we'll hear from Luke Braham coming up. And it's an interesting sports day in a sense that we've got, of course, the World Cup. We're right in the middle of that and down to the round of 16. So there's already be one game today. Another one's going on right now. And we also had golf today because of a weather delay, and the event there has wrapped up. The Travelers Championship with Victor Hovland beating Scotty Scheffler to win that event. So we're in late June. The College World Series is over, which carried us through most of June. It was very, very exciting. But now it's there's a lot of different things going on.
Oh, absolutely. And we had a chance last night on the Sunday show, Joe Bricado and I, to talk to Jonathan Clark, Hurricane native who is qualified for the Senior U.S. Open and will be participating in that event in Columbus starting later this week. So that was a fun interview. Jonathan Clark, one of the best golfers the state has had in many, many years, and he'll be over there. So even though some of the activity isn't as prevalent and as normal, some of it is. And Brad, your angst over the inability to see 3-on-3 basketball on the stream rivals only the early rounds of the Masters, when you used to go nuts not being able to see that.
I don't understand this. We're having Skylar Forbes. The reason you're bringing that up, Skylar Forbes, one of the new women's basketball players, will join us tomorrow night on Sportsline. She's in Chile right now. Did I say that right? Chile. Yeah. It's not Chile. It's Chile, Kyle.
Whatever you want.
Down there playing in the FIBA 3v3 tournament. And we're trying to watch the game that was on at 5 o'clock here and just can't simply get the information. But that'll be fun to talk to her. You talk to the coaches about her, guys, and they are really excited to get her on campus and get her going. So you're right. There's no Mountaineer games going on right now, but that doesn't mean practices have stopped. Women's basketball is going. Men's basketball is full go. I was over there watching those guys again today. Football is practicing, about ready to open up camp. So it's coming. It might not be public, but it is coming.
It's just a little bit empty because there was so much just absolute euphoria with the baseball team that carried us way past the link that they ever have been before. And not only were they still playing, they were playing in the College World Series.
Playing in absolutely meaningful games, and it felt like every day. It felt like a major league schedule, like you just wake up and you went to the ballpark and there were games. It was awesome.
It was the anticipation of it. And between the regional, the super regional, and the College World Series, it was like Christmas morning every day because you woke up with that anticipation of the next game.
Well, think about those guys. They got about 3 days of rest and recovery, and then the new team arrived. And they had their first team meeting here just the other day over the weekend. So players have reported there's got some new guys here, and some are scattered out playing in some different leagues. But the new guys have arrived as well, and they're underway as all are the teams.
I look forward to talking to Skylar Forbes tomorrow because, among other things, my research into the Sportsline record books, we've never had an interview from South America say nothing in Chile.
Okay, very good. Might be checking a new box.
A lot of places on the globe we've hit over the years.
But you think South America as a whole?
Yes, I
think Chile specifically.
Yes.
Awesome.
I believe so.
Well, we've done the basketball team way back in the 90s went to Australia.
Yep.
We did calls from Australia. Where are some of the other exotic places? We ever done anything from Asia? We had to have through the years.
Australia, right?
Big in Australia.
Yeah.
Because of all the punters.
So that's and I guess technically that's not Asia. It's a continent of its own, but still, close enough. Got to have had somebody on from Asia at some point in time.
Through the decades.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, did you see over the weekend, speaking of Mountaineer baseball, that Michael Grove is back in the big leagues?
Good for him.
And you talk about a recovery. Pitched in the playoffs for the Dodgers and got cut loose there, suffered a torn labrum, and has recovered from that and pitched in the big leagues for the Tampa Bay Rays on Saturday night and had an extended outing.
Yeah, great to see him back in the league.
And
Wheeling native, WVU product.
Looks like, just watching him pitch, it looks like he's still like 19 years old in terms of his physical ability and the same mechanics and the same wind-up and the same body type. But getting back to the big leagues at this point after a major injury like that, that's incredible.
Very much so.
Incredible story. 304-TALK, 304. The text line is open, and we are going to, the young people in soccer, like that's their thing. These guys watch every game in the World Cup. I mean, I pay attention to it and watch it when I can, but we're going to have Luke Wiggs, to go over where we are at this point in the World Cup with the United States playing their next game on Wednesday. And again, we're into the round of 16 and a couple of games in that round today. So we'll kind of get an update there. I mean, these guys watch every single game.
It's nice to have the U.S. still involved.
Yes.
That helps.
You haven't fronted him the money to attend one in person?
No, that's a little bit too rich for me to go to where are they? I know they're in Canada. I know they're in
Boston,
Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the tickets are a little bit too pricey for me. But, again, it's a once in a lifetime. Believe it or not, the year I spent in Chicago, the World Cup was there that year, and I had no idea the magnitude of it. But I had a friend, one of my best friends from high school, was huge into soccer and had some connections and actually was volunteering for the World Cup games. He did something on the sideline and got me in to a World Cup game at Soldier Field in 1994. And again, I had no idea what I was even witnessing at that point, the magnitude of it. You learn really quick when you get there and you're in the middle of it.
Who'd you see?
But I don't even remember who the game was. It was – I can't even remember. I don't remember. It's been so long ago. But I was hit. He was an aide to someone on the sidelines, and I was his aide for one game. So that's my World Cup
You've
story.
Been to the World Cup.
I've been to the World Cup.
You got that checked off.
One game in Chicago in 1994. So that's that story. 304 Talk 304. We'll take a break. We're going to talk World Cup here in just a bit. When we return, we'll be joined by Luke Braham of University High School, who is headed on to continue his college football career at Virginia Tech. That is coming up. We're underway. Brand new week on the CityNet statewide sports line, and we're inside the Health Plan Studios since 1979. The Health Plan has called West Virginia home. From humble beginnings, they've grown alongside West Virginia, becoming a part of its fabric. For over 4 decades, they've been here through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses, proudly serving West Virginia for over 40 years. The Health Plan.
Answering a text or phone call while driving. Seems pretty harmless, right? But in the 5 seconds you took your eyes off the road to respond, you missed the girl riding her bike across the street. You missed the dog who darted into the road. And you missed the stop sign. And while it was just a ticket this time, it could have been worse. In fact, more than 700 people are injured in distracted driving crashes each day. Keep yourself and others safe. Don't drive distracted. Just drive. This message was brought to you by the West Virginia Governor's Highway Safety Program.
If a fire occurred in your home, would your smoke alarms work? Don't wait for a tragedy to find out. Smoke alarms are designed to give you and your family the precious seconds you need to safely escape. Test your smoke alarms every month by pressing the test button until the alarm sounds. Depending on the type of battery in your smoke alarm, you may need to change the batteries at least once a year or whenever the low battery warning chirps. And never remove the batteries for any reason. Remember, having working smoke alarms is not only a good idea, it's the law. A message from the West Virginia State Fire Marshal's Office.
Our knees and hips are complex joints. For joint replacements to function properly, the implants must be placed with accuracy and precision. WVU Medicine's board-certified orthopedic surgeons use the latest technologies in robotic-assisted joint replacement to ensure the implants are in the exact spot they should be. If you have a joint problem, trust the expert surgeons at WVU Medicine. Visit wvumedicine.org/ortho.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide sports line
returns in 2 minutes
on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
For couples that are experiencing infertility, about half will have the male factor in the diagnosis. At the WVU Medicine Center for Reproductive Medicine, we offer a wide array of treatment options for male factor infertility. There's really no reason you would need to go anywhere else. If we can identify and treat male factor infertility, we can prevent couples from even having to go down the road of IVF, saving you potentially money and time. We're here to help build a family. We have the capabilities and we care.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the road.
Download MetroNews Television on your iPhone or Android. Search MetroNews Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
City Net Statewide Sportsline, welcome back for this Monday. Kyle Wiggs, Greg Hunter, and Brad Howe with you. And we're privileged to be joined by Luke Braham, who's heading into his senior season at University High, standout offensive lineman. And he's had quite a season, quite an off season, and has recently committed to play college football at Virginia Tech. But first things first, that senior year in high school. Luke, good evening. Thanks for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hey, tell us this story. I mean, this is amazing. I know you've been obviously part of the program there and a starter, but let's just say the last 12 months in terms of your physical development and your development as a player, can you quantify that, the leaps and bounds you've made in just that short period of time?
Yes, sir. Well, after season ended, I was around 220, and I've just been in the weight room and getting my weight up, and now I'm up to 270. And I joined a 5-on-5 team with that, and that's really helped me in my offensive line.
So 50 pounds in a year. How did that happen? It's obviously work in the weight room, but also diet has a big part of that as well. What has that journey been like?
It's been a struggle, but it's definitely helped me. I grew a little bit, which has helped as well. And I just stay on my shakes every night, and it's really helped me.
So what is the caloric intake? You said shakes. What else has been involved? Because obviously weight room is important, but you got to eat to keep that going.
Yes, sir. I eat like 4 to 5 meals a day, probably bringing in about 5,000 calories a day.
And what are you eating? Give us a rundown there. Like, give us a typical breakfast, then a typical lunch, then dinner, and the shake. Like, what's a day for you? What are you eating?
So breakfast is probably about 10 a.m. I'll get up, eat about like 6 to 7 eggs and some toast with that. And then lunch, we'll bring in some like chicken and rice. Mm-hmm. And then before I lift, I'll eat like peanut butter bagels. And then dinner is the big thing. I'll have like a 16-ounce steak, mashed potatoes, and then before I go to bed every night, I have a 3,000-calorie shake that I drink.
Oh, my.
What goes in the shake?
2 raw eggs, a bunch of peanut butter, oats, just everything.
So protein's huge. Protein's the big thing to put on the muscle, right?
Hold on here.
Yes,
you go 2 just raw eggs right in there like old school Rocky? Like you just dump 2 eggs in there and just slug it down?
Yes, sir.
Oh.
Well, and in terms of, do you just run screaming away from sweets, sugar, that type of thing?
Here and there, just a little bit.
A little bit. You got to treat yourself, right?
Yes, sir.
How do you feel? So that's a lot of weight to carry for a year. How do you physically feel when you're out and moving? Still pretty good?
Yeah, I feel amazing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, Luke, obviously your dad was an All-American, played a dozen years in the NFL. What's he meant to your development, both in terms of size and strength and then on-field ability?
Oh, it's amazing. He's really benefited me in every snap I take. If I do something wrong, he's helping me right there. And then you do it, and then you put someone on their butt, and you be like, dang, that really works.
So you listen and take it to heart. Now, obviously it's helped that he's been every single practice that you've been, probably all the off-season workouts, everything you do at University High, he's been there to kind of help you along that journey.
Yes, sir, definitely. But the first few years, I actually started as a wideout. Last year was my first year playing O-line.
All right, so let's talk about that a little bit. As Kyle mentioned, you've obviously got it in your blood, and you've got a great teacher there in your dad. What's it been like to switch from the skill side down into the trenches?
I like it. Just you fully find a passion to what you really want to do, and that's my I fell in love with being a lineman. That's my passion. I want to play in college. That's what I want to do.
So along the way, did you do some of the things an offensive lineman would do, or was it just a kind of a overnight transition?
I just grew a bunch, and that kind of fully changed it.
Mm-hmm.
So, Luke, take us through the recruiting cycle. Did school start to get involved real quickly this summer as you got bigger, and I assume started getting out there more? How did the recruiting go, and then ultimately, what led you to Virginia Tech?
Well, I got my first offer from Ohio Good Friday, actually, and for me, it was all about going on their campus and actually showing them how much weight I actually put on. And that was the big thing. And then that got me going. And then once I got the first one, it kind of just clicked from there. And VTech, I love Coach Moore. I've loved him since he was here at West Virginia. Coach Danielson, Coach Franklin. I really love those people. Good coaches.
Mm-hmm.
So, Luke, let's talk about development and what's next. So where are you trying to get to weight-wise, first of all, before we get into the season? And then where's the areas you need to improve on or you're looking forward to improving on as you get ready for the upcoming season?
Well, my goal weight right now before season starts is 275. And I'd like to improve a little bit on my run game.
So you're almost there at 275, and you mentioned run blocking is a key. And I know with that offense, it's pass oriented. What was more difficult for you to pick up, the pass blocking aspect or the run blocking aspect?
The pass blocking aspect came after you do it so many times, it kind of just comes natural. But the run game, you got to get your hands there, you got to get your steps right, and just find a good angle to take someone.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of the recruitment, again, did you want to get this over? As Kyle said, you guys have a lot of players coming back at University High from a team that made the semifinals last year, so I'm sure expectations are high. Did you want to get this decision done so you can concentrate on your senior season?
Not really. I was kind of just finding a place that really fits for me.
Luke, go back to the transition to offensive line. As Coach Hunter always tells us, you've got to be the smartest guys on the field to play offensive line there. What's the biggest challenge when you're switching positions? What's the hardest part of being an offensive lineman that regular fans may not know?
Just being in the trenches of the battle, you don't realize that as a wide receiver. You're like, oh, yeah, they should just block like it's nothing. And you really get down there, and it's like, dang, it's kind of harsh in here.
It's hard.
There's no breaks down in there, is there, Luke?
No, sir.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned Matt Moore, and I know you and your family have had a relationship with him since he was here. And, of course, he goes to Virginia Tech. Did you kind of follow his career there in terms of going down there and going to camps and, keeping that relationship going?
Yes, sir. I went to a camp there last year, and I did really good there, and it kind of just started slowly from there.
So it's safe to say they were one of the first ones. They knew about you and kind of were maybe one of the first schools to pursue you or offer you.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
How good the Hawks going to be this coming season?
We should be good. I hope we win it all this year.
So
we definitely have a chance.
Yeah, how many other linemen are back? I know there's a lot of skill position talent back, but how many members of that offensive line return?
There's 3 returning.
Okay, so there you go. I mean, that's right, Greg. That's where it starts.
Absolutely.
The offensive line, you got your quarterback back. You've got Hayden George and KK Lewis back at the wideouts. Again, just kind of run that down for us in terms of the offense and the skill that's back on that team this year.
Yes, sir. Starting at the running back, Brody Kaler, he's crazy. Started on Musselman, like 4 or 5 touchdowns. It's awesome to have him back. Hayden, he's a stud. I've never seen anyone move like him. And it's good having our QB back. It was hard losing him Huntington game. That kind of didn't really help us against Martinsburg.
Yeah, Harrison Helbig there. Brody Kaler, guys, the younger brother of Brock Kaler, who's started last year as a freshman on the WVU wrestling team.
Mm-hmm.
So little brother Brody's a wrestler and a football player. Luke, did you play any other positions in high school or any other sports in high school, or have you been football all the way?
Yes, sir. I played baseball my freshman year, and then I stopped playing from after my freshman year.
So concentrating on football. Before we let you go, give us an update on your brother. Noah was at WVU for a few years and entered the transfer portal, and he's found a place to play, right?
Yes, sir. He's at Bryant University in Rhode Island, and he's having a blast.
Is he there right now, or are they getting a little bit of a break for the summer?
He already had a break a couple weeks ago, but he's there right now.
All right, so he's there. He's there back to work. We certainly wish him the best as well, and we wish you the best. We appreciate your time, and again, it's a great story. I mean, that just goes to show you, hard work and you develop, and all of a sudden these opportunities start coming your way. Again, thanks for your time, and best of luck this year with the university.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Luke Braham there of the university football team. A lot of players back on a team that went on the road and upset Huntington in the second round last year and played pretty well in the semis at Martinsburg before falling. And then, of course, Martinsburg fell to Morgantown High in the state championship game last year.
Well, it just shows the development opportunities. You never know when a kid and their body is going to develop into, a power forward ability. But, Kyle, between you and others, people around here knew that Luke had a lot of ability, and they said, keep an eye on him. But at his weight before, you just didn't know where. But obviously, all of a sudden, boom, the size comes and everything else just falls into place.
50 pounds in a year? I mean, have you heard of that? But I'm sure
occasionally, yeah. And it helps because his dad has the knowledge. Usually that kind of development comes in college when they get it part of a strength program and a dietary program that's really focused on allowing them to do that. I remember Mike Fox gained 100 pounds in 1 year at West Virginia. I still remember. Most of it was because he ate and then finished every night with a large pizza. But I remember that story well. But, so that can happen, but it's usually at the college level. But because of his dad's knowledge, I mean, you can put on 50, 60 pounds in a year if you want, but it's not going to be good weight because of his dad's knowledge. Sounds like his weight is good, and it's certainly something that's attracted a lot of Power 4 programs.
Yeah, and the older brother, too. I mean, having that experience, having gone through the WVU program and all of that knowledge there. So, they're going to be a fun team to watch this year, and it's interesting that the teams, Morgantown and University and Wheeling Park, for that matter, they were in a league for so many years with the other Northern Panhandle schools that fell from the largest classification down a little bit. So those teams were struggling to schedule games. So they've gone into a scheduling partnership with the EPAC schools, with the 6 EPAC schools. So Morgantown, University, and Wheeling Park are basically in a league now with those 6 Eastern Panhandle schools. So, man, you're going to see some you're going to see some heavyweight matchups here over the course of the next couple of years with the likes of Morgantown University and Wheeling Park playing those schools from the Eastern
Spring
Panhandle.
Mills, Martinsburg. I mean, that's a heck of a not only teams going at it, but that's a lot of travel both ways. Eastern Panhandle coming here, the Morgantown and Wheeling Park schools headed out there, so that'll be a challenge.
But again, in the northern part of the state, there's hardly any Quad A schools left.
Yeah,
you got to be creative.
Martinsburg, and again, we talked about the Eastern Panhandle schools, how they've had to play so many out-of-state schools because their options are so limited over there. I know Martinsburg's coming to Bridgeport for a 2-game series starting this year. So they're looking around and finding schools, but that'll be fun to see them play Morgantown and University here locally.
304 Talk 304. That is the text line. We'll take a break. We've got a World Cup update coming up on the Sports Line. It is the CityNet statewide Sports Line. CityNet is West Virginia's local internet provider. High-speed, reliable fiber internet is probably right at your front door. Now's the perfect time to connect. Local customer support you can trust. Fast, reliable fiber internet built for everyday life. When it's high-speed internet you need, CityNet.net connects, protects, and perfects.
Hey, this is Brad Howe for your local internet provider, CityNet. High-speed fiber internet is probably at your front door, and now's the time to connect. Your tax dollars helped expand broadband access across West Virginia, and CityNet makes it real. More rural communities in West Virginia can finally get the high-speed internet they deserve. With free equipment, free installation, no contract, and local support you can trust. So whether you're streaming, working, gaming, or running your business, CityNet delivers the speed and reliability you need. When it's high-speed internet you need, CityNet.net connects, protects, and perfects.
Answering a text or phone call while driving. Seems pretty harmless, right? But in the 5 seconds you took your eyes off the road to respond, you missed the girl riding her bike across the street. You missed the dog who darted into the road. And you missed the stop sign. And while it was just a ticket this time, it could have been worse. In fact, more than 700 people are injured in distracted driving crashes each day. Keep yourself and others safe. Don't drive distracted. Just drive. This message was brought to you by the West Virginia Governor's Highway Safety Program.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan, we are here for you.
Right now, America is hungry for energy, more power, more reliability, and more security. So here's a question worth asking. Why not coal? And why not now? West Virginia sits on one of the most abundant energy resources in the world. Generations of miners, proven infrastructure, and coal-fired power plants already delivering dependable, around-the-clock electricity. At a time when demand is surging and reliability matters more than ever, coal isn't a question mark, it's a solution. Today, there's robust support in West Virginia and Washington to strengthen American energy independence using the resources we already have. So again, we ask, why not coal? And why not now? Because when it comes to powering our homes, our hospitals, our economy, and new opportunities, West Virginia Coal is ready. A message from the Friends of Coal, powering America today and tomorrow.
This boating season, elevate your family time with Lou Wendell Marine Sales. Proudly family-owned for over 40 years, Lou and his sons are West Virginia's largest Avalon pontoon dealer. Trusted experts in premium boats, motors, and service. Discover refined comfort, elegant design, and performance you can feel. Now is the perfect time to take advantage of preseason savings. At Lou Wendell Marine Sales, they don't just sell boats. They sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com because the weekend's almost here.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide sports line returns in 2 minutes on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's MetroNews television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
I'm meteorologist Brandon Weathers. Dangerous heat and humidity will be our focus Tuesday through Friday. After Friday, we could track some thunderstorms heading into 4th of July weekend, but not quite until then. Adding context to our temperatures, it's been consistently cool recently. Charleston has not measured a high at or above daily average since the 17th of June, a streak that ends today. So we're swapping consistent cool for consistent heat, as highs are in the mid-90s toward 100 by Thursday. But this heat is with us into Saturday. Heat index values surpassing 100 degrees each day, potentially say 110 on Thursday. For precipitation, the Sunday to Monday round did bring some areas, some locally higher amounts. We'll continue to look toward the mountains for lingering showers and thunderstorms through the rest of the afternoon and evening hours. But once that tapers off, we don't have much for widespread precipitation in West Virginia the rest of the week. Flies here at W Forecast. It starts at home. We're not the only ones feeling the heat. A lot of 90s or triple digits for air temps. And then you add the heat index values. We have to be practicing heat safety wherever you're traveling heading into the holiday weekend. Panhandle to Panhandle forecast. It's not just the highs, but the lows. Morgantown 69 tonight. Moundsville 72 with some clear skies. Then we'll see highs in the low to mid 90s here on Tuesday. Looking to Martinsburg for 68. A typical cool spot. Davis 62. 84 though, even in the cooler areas on Tuesday. Plenty of 90s elsewhere. 95 for Petersburg. We'll see some fog potentially setting up toward Clarksburg tonight. Lows in the 60s and 70s, then a high of 88 Elkins, 95 for Ripley, more mid-60s to mid-70s, looking south with highs in the 80s to mid-90s, 95 Charleston. So hot and humid through Friday, then we'll track some holiday weekend thunderstorms.
City.net Statewide Sportsline for a Monday. Welcome back into the Health Plan Studios, 304 Talk 304. And again, as we mentioned, we're going to be joined by a member, one of the players that transferred into the WVU women's basketball program, Skylar Forbes. She's scheduled to join us tomorrow night from Chile. Texter asks, where did some of the key WVU women from last year transfer to? So in the transfer portal, there were about four. Riley Makaluski goes to Tennessee.
Yep.
Jordan Thomas goes to Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was
Carter
a couple more.
McRae ended up at Michigan State, and Logan Johnson, UNC Wilmington. So those four. And, obviously three of them at Power 4 programs. We'll see how they do. Brad, from watching practice last week, it looks like West Virginia has done a nice job in replacing all that they lost. We'll see if the big replacements, a Jordan Harrison and a Sydney Shaw, I mean, those are the graduates are the toughest replacements. But
yeah.
Certainly didn't see anything the other day that indicated that's going to be a program that's going to fall off a cliff.
I agree with you. They're very excited about the entire class they brought in, and you're right, just our short sample size the other day looks like they've got some real talent. And just like we always talk about on the men's side, now it's just a matter of coming together, understanding the system, how well do they play together, how well do they mesh and like each other. But there's no doubt they've got some talent in there. They've reloaded for sure.
So double-digit new players, right? Is there 10?
Only two return from last year, Gia Cook and Maddie Parrish. That's all that they've got back. But, again, a lot of new faces. But, again, looks to be a lot of talent. But, Brad, as we know, just bringing in talent, it's the chemistry aspect is the next part of it. You got to have talent, though.
Yeah, you do. But that's where I've been so impressed. I mean, that's Mark's now got his culture installed to be able to win like they did early on when you're trying to mesh your culture with what was left over for a couple seasons. I thought they've done a masterful job of that, and a lot of credit to the players on that roster. They've got to buy in and do it. Mark would be the first to admit that. But this staff, again, much like Ross Hodges' staff, I think do a great job of breeding that culture into you when you arrive. So I don't think there'll be any issues on that side of it.
Texter points out that we have taken a call from Asia.
Yep.
In that Joe Alexander played professionally in China. And, of course, Nate Adrian played all over the world.
Usually mainly in Europe. But
France, Italy, and the Ukraine.
He was in Japan.
He was in Japan. We did not talk to him from Japan.
But
he did play in Japan, though.
Specifically from Italy, he got stranded in Italy, didn't he? With the coronavirus, couldn't get out.
No, I think he did get out, didn't he? Didn't he make it out just in time?
Early,
and same with Ukraine. He got out of Ukraine just in time. Yeah, that was actually obviously the more concerning of the two, but he got out of there in time as well.
All right, so yeah.
I don't remember Joe from China. I'm not saying we didn't. We had him on at 3 Guys Before the Game. He was in studio. I just don't know that I don't remember him from China, but that doesn't mean he wasn't on from there.
He was he spent a lot of time in Israel too, playing professionally. So I think maybe even Russia for some time. So, yeah, those guys bounce around, and sometimes you talk to them, you can't keep track of exactly where they are.
I think I might recall him coming on from Russia because I remember him mentioning there was dogs running everywhere, running all over the place, just like running all over the place. For, that was obviously that would make a big impression on you. 304 Talk 304, that's the text line. We'll take a break, and we'll get caught up a little bit on what's going on in the World Cup. It's been a big day in the World Cup already, and they're down to the round of 16. So that's coming up. We're back to the Health Plan Studios. The CityNet statewide Sportsline continues after this.
We are there for you, to care for you at the Health Plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The Health Plan, we are here for you.
If a fire occurred in your home, would your smoke alarms work? Don't wait for a tragedy to find out. Smoke alarms are designed to give you and your family the precious seconds you need to safely escape. Test your smoke alarms every month by pressing the test button until the alarm sounds. Depending on the type of battery in your smoke alarm, you may need to change the batteries at least once a year or whenever the low battery warning chirps, and never remove the batteries for any reason. Remember, having working smoke alarms is not only a good idea, it's the law. A message from the West Virginia State Fire Marshal's Office.
This boating season, elevate your family time with Lou Wendell Marine Sales. Proudly family-owned for over 40 years, Lou and his sons are West Virginia's largest Avalon pontoon dealer. Trusted experts in premium boats, motors, and service. Discover refined comfort, elegant design, and performance you can feel. Now is the perfect time to take advantage of preseason savings. At Lou Wendell Marine Sales, they don't just sell boats. They sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com because the weekend's almost here.
Hey, this is Brad Howe for your local internet provider, CityNet. High-speed fiber internet is probably at your front door, and now's the time to connect. Your tax dollars helped expand broadband access across West Virginia, and CityNet makes it real. More rural communities in West Virginia can finally get the high-speed internet they deserve. With free equipment, free installation, no contract, and local support you can trust. So whether you're streaming, working, gaming, or running your business, CityNet delivers the speed and reliability you need. When it's high-speed internet you need, CityNet.net connects, protects, and perfects.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline returns in 2 minutes on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
You know CityNet is West Virginia's leading technology company. Whether we're managing IT infrastructures, protecting the critical data and networks of our region's businesses, or providing fiber broadband, TV, and phone services, we are your go-to experts. We're also a strong partner in the communities in which we serve. CityNet, your trusted technology partner. Learn more about us, visit citynet.net.
We are there for you, to care for you at the Health Plan. We are here for you.
The Health Plan proudly supports our active and healthy communities and has been your most trusted carrier for over 40 years. Log on to healthplan.org for more information.
We are there for you, to care for you at the Health Plan. We are here for you. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Setting that statewide sports line for Monday. We're inside the Health Plan Studios. Kyle, Greg, and Brad. Luke's with us on the phone. And, Luke, we got some World Cup drama as we speak. As it appears, Germany has scored an extra time to take the lead. They're reviewing it there. Looked like there was contact with the goalkeeper before the ball was headed in on a corner kick. What's going on?
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Kyle. It's been a really odd and frustrating game for Germany that's dominated the game statistically, but certainly not in terms of score. And they tried corner after corner with Jonathan Tah, the center back that scored there. Put him in the back post, was trying to get him to lob balls back across the six, and were unsuccessful the entire game until he scores. However, to your point, it has just been ruled no goal because there was a foul and the goalkeeper was impeded with, and that takes the goal off the board. So Germany, who fell behind to a very good Paraguay team 1-0, or at least a very good defensive Paraguay team, had been scratching and clawing to try to tie the game. They finally did with Kai Havertz, and they've been trying to prove that they're the better team in this game. But Paraguay's defense has been incredibly fun to watch this last 2 hours.
Okay, stupid amateur question. So if this game ends in a draw, obviously in the earlier rounds they ended in draws. Now that they're in the knockout round, does this have to go to penalty kicks? How do they decide?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It would go to penalty kicks, and I mean, it looks like we're trending that way. Paraguay came into this tournament with an incredible defensive record, and frankly, the only team that made them look bad in this tournament, which was the United States, which is obviously a good look for the U.S. They're doing better against this defense than Germany is right now, one of the best teams in the world. But you're right, Greg, it would go to penalties, and it would be right on par with what we've seen through the first 2.5 knockout games so far. Great win by the Canadians yesterday, 1-0. You had a dramatic comeback from Brazil today over Japan, 2-1. And then this game has been wildly entertaining as well.
All right, all due respect to Paraguay and Germany, let's get to the U.S. here, Luke. What's going on with the U.S.? What's next? What are we watching? What are we looking for in terms of a path for the United States?
Well, it's honestly a pretty favorable draw for the knockout stages of the World Cup. And if people weren't that familiar, of course, the tournament's been expanded from 32 to 48 teams, which means now 32 teams go to the knockout stages, which means some weaker teams are going to go through. And that's exactly what the United States drew with Bosnia and Herzegovina. Now, they're not going to be an easy team to beat. What makes Bosnia so special is a pretty significant attack. Eden Desko, even though he's 40 years old, plays for Schalke. He's a fantastic striker. Demirovic as well plays for Stuttgart in Germany. Those are two legitimate strikers that can make you pay. They're also very athletic on the wings with two individuals whose names I will not be able to pronounce on this show. I apologize. Now, they're a little bit weaker in defense, and that's where you'd like to see the United States exploit. You saw how great they were offensively against Paraguay and in this tournament as well against Australia. It's a game that the United States are heavily favored in, and it's rare to say that the United States are going into a knockout game as heavy favorites. But on their home soil, they have a pretty interesting matchup if they're able to work around two pretty good strikers for Bosnia to get into the round of 16 and to continue to play in the tournament that they're hosting.
What's made this U.S. team special? Why this year?
Well, I think it really boils down to Mauricio Pochettino's tactics that he's installed for this tournament. Pochettino, of course, is the head coach for the United States. He's managed some of the most incredible teams in the world, most recently Chelsea in England. He spent time at Paris Saint-Germain and obviously in France and Tottenham as well. He's instigated a style that I think has really harnessed the athleticism and the talent in this United States team, but it's also taken advantage of some of the rules in this tournament. That's not new to this tournament. They started it in 2022 in Qatar, but if you've been watching the games, you'll notice that there's these hydration breaks that have been added. And since it's the United States and we like to make money, we've turned those hydration breaks into longer breaks to fit commercials in. So essentially these games have gone from games of 2 45-minute halves to 22 to 23-minute long quarters. And the United States have integrated this really interesting style of pressure that they're able to use these hydration breaks to refuel and get out there and still play at 100%. So essentially, guys, what you're seeing is the soccer version of Press Virginia. They're getting up in people's faces, they're turning them over in high, important areas of the pitch, and they're creating offensive chances with their defense. So Mauricio Pochettino has just found a way to take a very talented roster and do what they do best, let them run around, be aggressive, be creative, and that's why the United States have looked so good in this tournament.
Certainly, the World Cup is a lot about atmosphere. The play on the pitch is extraordinary. I can accept that, but I'll admit the atmospheres in every one of these games I've seen. I've never witnessed an empty seat. I mean, it's probably lived up to everything anyone imagined.
Yeah, you're right, and it's been a huge win for the infrastructure of the United States. I mean, there's just not a lot of countries in world football that have the stadium infrastructure to pull off a tournament like this. You saw in Qatar in 2022 how many temporary stadiums they need to make, and I mean, you're asking for a dozen 60-plus thousand seat stadiums. Well, you can get that in the United States just out of the SEC. So that's been great. You're right that the crowds have been fantastic. Watching all these different cultures discover American culture, free refills and insane portion sizes has been great. And we're also getting to see, as American sports fans, what makes some of these other fan bases so great. I'm a huge fan of Scottish soccer. I love the Tartan Army, which is the name for their supporter group. And I'm sure you guys saw them singing Country Roads at Fenway Park, all the different chants as well. So the United States has been able to witness on their front porch just all this great fan culture from all these countries around the world, while simultaneously they get to step in and witness what is incredible sports infrastructure that the United States has all across the country.
I realize the United States is 30-1, 35-1 to win this thing. Realistically, what's the ceiling for this team? Can they win it?
It's interesting, Brad, because they're going to face a pretty significant test right after if they get past Bosnia and Herzegovina. And again, that's not a team that you necessarily want to overlook. I would expect them to get Belgium in the next round, in the round of 16, if the bracket falls the way we would expect it to, and that would be a really tough test for the U.S. It's a team that's certainly beatable for the U.S., but the problem when it comes to the World Cup, after you get past this first knockout round, everybody you're playing is going to be great. It's like the NCAA tournament for basketball. It's all 1 seeds and 2 seeds. Is the United States talented enough to beat 1 or 2 teams that are ranked top 10 in the world right now? I think that's a legitimate possibility. Can they do it 4 times to win the World Cup? That's where I have my doubts. So I favor them against Bosnia. Going into the round of 16, I would say that their odds will be 50-50 against whoever they play. Outside of that, they might be running out of gas. But still, if you win 2 knockout rounds, that would be a tremendous achievement for a nation that really hasn't made it to the knockout rounds of the World Cup very often in the past.
So you're saying as we're into the round of 16, the list of the top 4, 5, or 6 contenders really hasn't changed?
Yeah, I think that would be fair. I mean, you look and see who's performing really well in the World Cup. I think Brazil looks great. They're my favorite to win it all. They came from behind in dramatic fashion today. Their manager, Carlo Ancelotti, I think is the best in the world. You've got a Germany team that's playing incredibly solid. Spain has one of the best players in the world in Lamine Yamal, who's just 18 years old. France looks like a juggernaut. Remember, they won in 2018, probably should have won in 2022 before that Argentina team and Messi caught fire, and so they'd like to prove that they can win this tournament now. And then, of course, you've got Argentina. Lionel Messi is approaching 40, and he's leading this tournament in goals by a 2-goal margin. He scored 6 in 3 games. So those teams, you're absolutely right, Kyle, have distanced themselves away from the rest. It doesn't mean that the United States, in drawing with a matchup with those teams, couldn't beat them, but those certainly are the favorites right now.
One more thing for you, we'll let you go. What do we put into perspective what we're seeing with Messi? Are we seeing Michael Jordan dominance, Gretzky? Are we seeing Tom Brady dominance? What are we witnessing on a historical scale with a 39-year-old Messi?
I would compare it to the LeBron James-Michael Jordan conversation in that both players had, when you look at him and Cristiano Ronaldo, who people think is the debate for the 2 best players in the world, where both had these incredible peaks and both at the pinnacle of their game were the best in the world. But Messi has distanced himself as he's continued to play at this incredibly elite level at this point in his life. I hate to say it, I'm not LeBron's biggest fan, but LeBron has won me over in the LeBron-MJ debate because he's still putting up best-in-the-league numbers at an age where nobody has done that before. And that's what we're seeing with Lionel Messi. He's always been a great player. Cristiano Ronaldo was a great player right alongside with him, but you're starting to see Cristiano kind of fade as he's gotten older, and that's not been the case for Lionel Messi. A lot of it is the way that he plays the game. It's not a game that's built on athleticism. It's a game that's built on being one of the smartest players and having incredible reflexes. But the only thing I can compare it to is LeBron James still putting up MVP caliber numbers in his late 30s, because there just really isn't a precedent for this in world football to be playing at that high a level at that age.
All right.
If the music weren't on, I wouldn't let that comment slide on the MJ slander on this program. But we've got 12 seconds, so we'll let it slide, Luke.
We'll get into it on another day.
Looking forward to it.
All right, thanks. We appreciate it. That's a pretty comprehensive update there on the World Cup and what's going on. And, of course, the United States plays its game coming up on Wednesday. Its knockout round game coming up on Wednesday. Major League Baseball, the Pirates underway against Philadelphia. Game 1 of that series. Braxton Ashcraft, the Pirates starter, has given up a couple of home runs, but it's not Kyle Schwarber. It's Trey Turner and Brandon Marsh have hit first-inning home runs for the Phillies against Pittsburgh. So they've moved to the second inning, and Philadelphia leads Pittsburgh 2-0 is the score there early on, and the Orioles have scored first. They're underway against the White Sox, 1-0 there. All right, guys, back again tomorrow.
Do it. Skylar Forbes from Chile on the program.
All right, we'll talk WVU women's basketball coming up on Tuesday. Thanks for listening and watching the CityNet Statewide Sportsline, and we're back tomorrow night.
From the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet Statewide Sportsline is an exclusive production of the MetroNews Radio Network. All rights reserved.